How do I turn off my brain when I go to bed? I do a sort of self-hypnosis? Not sure if this is dumb or not, but when I was in my Psych 101 class, the teacher demonstrated a type of hypnosis that put the whole class to sleep. Pretty much he had us close our eyes, said, imagine you're in a really calm forest like a paradise. And you come up to some stairs going down. As you take a step down the first stair, you feel more relaxed than ever in your life, and then each stair is pretty much the same deal, except you keep feeling more relaxed. By the time he got to the second to last step, we were all out. Now whenever I want to sleep, I just go down the steps. IDK if that's dumb or if it'd ever work for anyone else, but maybe it'll help. I listen to podcasts or audiobook to fall asleep. It works well for me. If you can't find any solution like having a routine or other healthy options, you could try this. What helped for me was putting up a Siri in the background when going to sleep, but I use specific series I've watched already and are very easy to follow where I don't need to think. I've had series and movies that didn't help me sleep but did the opposite. You don't want them to be too interesting. I always was awake for 30,120 minutes before sleeping because I was always thinking about random stuff, and now it takes me between 5 and 10 minutes on average. IDK about the potential downside from this. Maybe this could lead to less deep sleeps, so try some other methods first. Lol. An hour? Those are rookie numbers. Create a routine before bed. If thoughts get in your mind, journal about it before bed. Laughs in ADHD. In all seriousness, as an adult with ADHD, that is me every night. The more I try to empty my mind and get to sleep, the more intrusive random thoughts pop into my head. That one time in 5th grade, one said something cringy to an adult. There it is 30 years later, preventing me from falling asleep. Followed by, if mustard can be used as an alternative for mayo on a sandwich, what would it taste like with canned tuna? Thinking face. You might try this method. They use it in the military. 478 Sleep Technique. 1. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. 2. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. 3. Exhale for 8 seconds, making a whoosh sound through pursed lips. 4. Repeat up to 4 times. The 478 method can be used to kill stress and calm your body any time of the day, not just at bedtime. And the more consistently you use the technique, the better it works. So give it a try and see if this might be the answer to your sleep challenges. Northern Lights. Cannabis indica. Creed. This is why counting sheep became a thing, right? But I find counting not engaging enough, and then my mind wanders too far. I have gotten into a bit of a word game in my head. Using the alphabet. Sometimes I pick a category and go through the alphabet, naming something in the category that starts with each letter. Or the one I use most is picking a part of speech and a number of syllables. I try not to focus too much if I can't come up with a word. I really don't know a lot of K, X or Z words, for example, or bend the syllable rules a bit. But I do make a minimum effort. Sometimes my mind wanders a bit and I just start back where I left off. If I hit Z, I start a new variation. It's interesting to see how fast I can come up with words at the start and then have to try a bit by the middle. But after a few runs through, I don't make it to the end and fall asleep. It helps me to draw the focus away from work or problems of the day. Hope that helps somebody. Melatonin. Works really well for me. Do something that tires your brain or makes you concentrate before bed. A lot of people read. Cop out for myself, but I watch stuff in diff languages and read the subs. Currently watching 24 in Japanese. Do you look at your phone in bed? Stop that. Ideally, stop looking at your phone about an hour before bed. When you go to bed, do you do anything to calm down or relax? Try a little meditation. That could help. Or writing a diary, journal of positive things from the day. That will shift your focus away from the negative things that creep when you have nothing to occupy your mind. Personally, I read before bed. I find it takes me into another world and I can get away from everything else. It usually works so well that I drop what I'm reading on my face because I have fallen asleep without realizing. Long story short, saw my doctor, prescribed trazodone, antidepressant and sleep med. I get straight 8 hours. Fall asleep in minutes after reading. Wake up feeling refreshed. No more anxiety. There's nothing a wank can't solve. I play thunderstorm sounds on YouTube and focus on the sounds of the storm. Works for me every time. Masturbate works like wonders. Wait, hold on. It's not normal to take more than an hour to fall asleep every night. Try mindful meditation. There are some great guided ones on YouTube. Just play it in your phone and follow along. Helps my wife who's had issues falling and staying asleep. I have terrible insomnia, so I have tried it all, including meds, which help but only as a piece of the puzzle. I practice very strict sleep hygiene. This means that my bed is for sleeping and sex only. I don't watch TV, read, or scroll through Reddit in bed. I make my room as dark and cool as possible. In the 12 hours before bed, I avoid stressful tasks. Ideally, you shouldn't be on screens for that 12 hours, but let's be real, that's hard to avoid. Especially when you're trying to relax and not focus on life stress. So I make sure whatever I watch, read is calming. I recently started listening to binaural beats to go to sleep and found it to be very helpful. I also got a Galaxy projector and silk sheets and lots of stuff that makes me excited to get in bed and sleep. I wait until I get very sleepy and am almost falling asleep before I move to my bed every night, and I think all of this has trained my brain to associate bed equals sleep, and it rarely takes me more than 5 minutes to fall asleep now. I have had constant tinnitus all my life from infections as a toddler. Constant ringing in a high pitch in my head 24/7. Needless to say, it does not help me get to sleep at night, but for 5 years now I never had any trouble sleeping quickly. Here are my tips from someone who needed to learn how to sleep as I suffered from insomnia due to my tinnitus. 1. Get to sleep at a similar time each night. 2. Breath work. This is the most important point. Focus on your breathing, and every time your mind wanders, get it back to manual breathing as soon as you realize it. 3. Try to use theta music, like brown noise or other sleep-helping sounds that soothe your mind. 4. Meditate. In my case, I wander up my body starting from the toes, then feet, then leg, then groin, tummy, arms, hands, neck, and then head. I concentrate on the body part till I am aware of it and it starts tingling. This sounds like a lot, but this routine takes 15 minutes every night. After I have finished it, I roll to the side into the fetal position and I am gone into deep sleep in a mere matter of seconds. Been doing this for 5 years and it always worked. Even when my dog died and I skipped work. Even when I was depressed. My sleep was never robbed again by sorrow. Even when I dreaded the morning, as sorrow came knocking again and I had to embrace it. Hope my routine can help someone. I don't TBH. The harder I try, the harder it is to fall asleep. My trick: download Tubi or a similar app with Bob Ross on it, and let his monotoned voice and peaceful nature lull you to bed. If that doesn't work, speak to a psychologist and see if it might be a medical issue causing you to stay awake.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.